Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just a really important bit of information about injector diagnostics, in particular for anyone that owns like a 150 Prado or the same vintage Hilux. So from about September 2009 onwards. Okay, so the injectors were one thing that did change on that date, around about that date, for the vehicles in Australia we're talking about. Now, prior to that, diagnostics was an awesome thing where you could have a look at the screen on this diagnostic tool here and, you know, look at the total volume, the fuel volume, injection volume, whatever you want to call it, depending what scan tool you're looking at. The feedback values were fairly important. You know, you could look at the main injection and the load. You could look at, you know, the timing, whatever, right? And you could tell, okay, there, look, you know, they're on the way out. I could look at the diagnostics on a 120 Prado. I can tell you how many kilometres they've done and how old they are. So awesome, but I'll just put it out there. What would I know? Okay, what would I know? I don't know. What would I know? I've only been working on 1KDs every day for a while, so what would I know? But what I do know is 120 Prado, same vintage Hilux. You can see it on diagnostics. That's awesome. Stick with diagnostics on those vehicles. What somebody missed along the way is to tell you guys, from about 09 onwards with different injectors, the diagnostics often look good. They often look really good, even when things aren't working so well. So you might have a bit of smoke or some other issue, particularly noise, you know, they're a bit noisy or whatever. It ain't going to show up in diagnostics. You might have injectors that look like they've got pretty good readings at 200,000 Ks or above. Captain Risky, you've seen the ads, Captain Risky? Well, that's what Captain Risky is, someone that's got injectors that have done over 200,000 Ks. In my opinion, even with the full DLCs, I'd be changing them out at 200,000 Ks. So look, couple of reasons. We've been through that before. We'll just quickly touch on that. The seats need to be done anyway around that time. I'd suggest prior to 200,000, and you may as well throw a set of injectors at it. What we're seeing is the older injectors, the wear we're seeing on these other wearing parts, we're not seeing anymore because of the full DLC. The nozzle needle, the needle is the part that wears still. And look, it can cause a bit of noise. Not really bad, but, you know, and it'll even be noisy when it's hot. So as you already know, my recommendation currently is about every 7 years, maybe 150,000 Ks. You can push them out a bit more. If they're not as old, they might, you know, highway Ks is the best thing you do. So if you've done 2 or 250,000 Ks, highway Ks, beautiful, that's not a problem either. But I've only done 80,000 Ks, but there's 10 years old. No, 10 years old is too old. So look, the main point of this video is, see this thing? We're going to get this, we're going to put it away in its box and say night-night, because we've got 2009 onwards vehicles coming in now, so they can go in the box and get put away. We don't need a diagnostic tool. It's kind of back to old school diagnostics. You know, the old diesels, you know, looking for smoke, this and that. You can plug in scan tools and have a look at things with those, like the 1KZ. You can have a look at the injection volume, that's for sure. Not much else. I think there's about 10 parameters to have a look at. But anyway, that is a guide. But I'm exaggerating a bit here, right? We're not going to put the scan tool away, really. There it is. It's there. We can get it back out. But what I'm trying to say is, don't rely on diagnostics, particularly on these later models from 09 onwards, okay? So the 1KDs we're talking about. 1GDs, I really got to say I don't work on. Even if I see 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, or 10, I don't work on them. I'm not seeing them, okay? So we'll have some information for you about those in coming times. They've been out for about 4 years now, so we're going to give you something. So if you've got a 1GD diesel, keep watching the videos. Make sure you're subscribed. As always, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up so we know we're doing the right thing. Make sure you have a look at the end of the videos so that you can see we've got the Facebook groups, and that information will be updated. Oz Prado Crew's the main Prado group, and at the top of that, I think it's at the top of that, I don't know, somewhere in there, at least we've got other groups. It's all connected, right? There's other groups. You need to do a bit of homework. Make sure you watch the videos till the end so you get all the information, because it might start off a bit boring and I'm waffling on like I am now, but it might get to something really important. And you might go through a whole 10-minute video that there's little important parts here or there. A lot of dribble in between maybe, but there's important parts. Like you're kind of going, geez, will you stop? Whatever, right? I'm going to talk, okay? The important information is, in this video, don't trust diagnostics alone, okay? So I hope that's helped. What are you going to rely on? Time. I'm going to, look, when we get the old injectors back, once again, those people that send us their old injectors back, we really appreciate. That's helping everyone, and that's how we can give you the information in the first place. Besides, you get your free contamination check. Thank you to those people. Now, when we strip down those injectors and we have a look at part internals, we can see the wear on them with our eyes. Microscope not needed. That's telling you there's some pretty big wear going on, and that's why they're not working right. If we can see that, then they need to be replaced. And that's what we're seeing from all the injectors. We're not getting injectors back going, gee, they look good. Look, I've got to say, the DLC ones I am going, gee, they look good. They didn't need replacing, but it is the nozzle needle. We're starting to see the DLC coating will eventually wear through on the nozzle needle. Think about the amount of work that thing's doing in 200,000 Ks. It's massive, mate. Years of just getting slammed, okay? So things aren't going to last forever, but they are awesome injectors, awesome system, and we love the 1KDs, love them when they're running well, even better, and reliable. So I'm going to end that video. I hope that's helped. You guys have a nice day. See ya.